What's going on, guys? It's Unknown Player here, and today we're going to be once again talking about all the latest Destiny news and things coming up soon for the game, including the hard mode and challenge mode of the Wrath of the Machine raid, some of the gear we can expect, also a Bungie bounty, things that will be coming very soon in patches for Destiny, and also a reminder about Festival of Lost and Sparrow Racing a bit later on. So Bungie actually announced the hard mode date for the Wrath of the Machine raid, which turns out to be October 18th, not too far away. Now in this raid, of course, there's still a lot of gear we're missing, which we can expect. The pulse rifle, the hand cannon, the sniper, sidearm, and also machine gun. So those weapons appear to be kind of split across normal and hard mode. Also, this is the hard mode gear. This is a good look at it, and it appears to be the main difference is that there are ornament slots which allow you to have this kind of like emanating Siva effect on the armor. It's a really cool effect, and of course this ornament slot isn't on the normal mode gear. So the difference between the hard and normal is that this gear is of course black and it's got a different theme to it, and of course the ornaments applied which allow you to kind of have that visual effect going on. Now, of course, the way you get these ornaments are through challenge mode, which is another thing which hasn't yet been announced. They did say your next challenge is the heroic raid. Beyond that, the raid bosses will have some challenges of their own. So Bungie kind of implied that maybe the challenge mode will be coming a little bit later, maybe a few weeks after hard mode. With King's Fall last year, they did actually launch challenge mode a few weeks after hard, so maybe that'll be a similar case right here. It's kind of fitting that these ornaments are obtained from the challenge mode, because ornaments are typically obtained from the hardest difficulty of a certain activity. So from the trials, you of course get from the flawless chest, and the Iron Lord you get it from the max rank from the record book. So it's fitting you get this stuff from the challenge mode at the raid. And if it works similar to last year, then on top of the ornaments, we can expect some emblems and probably a bunch of loot as well. Challenge mode is the best way to get a ton of loot from the raid, so it'll be a massive way to get infusion fuel. So when Bungie do announce the challenge mode date, of course, I'll let you guys know. It doesn't appear there's going to be a hard mode set of weapons. It's a bit disappointing because there's no customization for the raid weapons, and of course no ornaments. So I think it would be cool if there was some kind of ornament or customization with the hard mode weapons, but it appears that armor is the only new set of stuff we're getting in the hard mode as opposed to normal. I'm not really sure why they do this, because the armor looks exactly the same. Like if you put normal gear and hard mode gear next to each other, they look exactly the same with shaders on, and obviously everyone always uses a shader, so you can't really tell whether it's normal or hard mode except for looking at the icon. That's something that always confused me, but anyway, that is how the hard mode and normal mode gear is going to work. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how the Wrath of the Machine actually changes between normal and hard mode, and of course what the challenges are going to be. Comment down below what you think is going to be the difference between normal and hard mode. In King's Fall, it was actually built initially as a raid as hard mode, and it was actually scaled down for normal. They took away the lighties and nights as an element. They normally add a bunch of yellow bar enemies, and beyond that I could see something maybe making the charges more difficult from the servitors, but it's definitely something that makes the raid a lot less forgiving and a lot harder to recover. And of course the simple fact that you cannot revive any teammates is going to make things really difficult. And think about the Vosik encounter with the doors. You're going to have to make sure your entire team is inside there before you lock them out, because you can't be killing teammates like that. Normally you actually can, it's not a big deal if people die, but in hard mode where there's no revives, you're going to have to make sure everyone is in the room at the same time, or risk a whole team wipe. And of course in the Axis encounter, you're going to have to make sure that everyone makes that jump into the back platforms so they don't get wiped by Axis himself. So moving on from the hard mode raid, the next thing Bungie announced is actually a Bungie bounty, and this is happening next Wednesday on the 12th. And what's going to be happening is they're going to pick people from their Twitch chat, and it's going to be held in private matches as opposed to normally when they get it from matchmaking in Crucible. If you don't know, the Bungie bounty is where they play against community members or YouTubers, sometimes with or against them in Crucible, and the winners end up getting the sign of opposing will emblem, which of course is my emblem. A lot of people ask where I get this thing from, and this is how you get it. This is where it's actually obtained from. It's one of the rarest emblems in the game, and I was actually in a Bungie bounty in the first couple weeks of Destiny launching back in 2014. So this time around, if you're in Bungie's Twitch chat when they're streaming this on Wednesday the 12th, and if you get picked to join their private match, and I guess if you win, you'll be given the sign of opposing will emblem. So a pretty cool thing to take part in. So next up, Bungie mentioned some known issues in Destiny that they're working on fixes for. I really like this segment because it kind of shows things that they're working on and things they're aware of that should be fixed very soon, and it kind of serves as a PSA for some useful information while you play Destiny. So the first thing is that they're aware the Light Rider Sparrow is not dropping from Crucible packages. They also said that Dusty Engrams are rewarding legendary marks, which isn't intended. And the final thing is actually quite important. So the new Flawless emblem you get from the Lighthouse chest, and also the new version of the Scarab, which is actually a cap now, those two emblems and also two Iron Banner emblems, those aren't appearing in the kiosk because the emblem row actually fills up. So if you get one of those and you delete them, if you want to get another one from the kiosk, it won't be there because the emblem row is full. So if you have the Flawless emblem or the Scarab or two of the Iron Banner bounties, make sure you don't delete them if you want to use them, because they are not available to pick up back in the kiosk. They'll probably do a hotfix for it very shortly, so I won't worry about it. Of course, if you earn the emblems, it'll still be in the kiosk. But as for now, it won't be available, and until Bungie introduces this hotfix, you won't be able to grab a new one out of the kiosk. So the final thing Bungie mentioned are the 2 events happening. They mentioned Festival of the Lost, which of course is the Halloween event at the end of this month, the 31st of October. I'd expect it to probably launch on maybe the 25th or the 1st at the latest. I think 25th is the most likely, but apparently it's going to be bigger and better with more stuff to do than last year, and the live team said they've been working hard on it to make sure it's a cool event. And then beyond that, of course, there is the big winter event happening in most likely December, and SRL is only a part of it. There'll be new tracks on the Plaguelands, and they've changed the Mars and Venus tracks as well, and SRL is just a part of this big winter event, which they said is going to include new PvE elements and things to do for people who aren't interested in Sparrow Racing. So there we have it. That is all the latest Destiny news and everything coming up soon that you guys should know about. If you enjoyed the video, as always, a like rating would be much appreciated. And of course, if you don't want to miss out on my future videos, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Got a lot more Rise of Iron videos on the way. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.